Hello there. Welcome to the Unknown Regions podcast. My name is Jeremiah Hamilton, and today we'll be talking Solo, a Star Wars story. We'll also be discussing who shot first, Han or Geedo. Last but not least, we're going to be talking about the Star Fan Wars between Star Wars Explained and Star Wars on Punch and Chewing.
Execute Order 66.
Yes, my lord.
Good soldiers follow orders.
On your right.
Okay, so on today's show, like I said before, we're going to be talking about how Solo was released recently on digital. Now, if you guys like our content and like this show, give us a thumbs up down below and subscribe to the channel for more content. Also, go ahead and head over to the Star Wars playlist for more Star Wars discussions on this channel. Now anyways, let's get on to Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, Solo, a Star Wars story is a fun ride. It's actually a space western, and probably the best one since Serenity, I'd say. And Serenity actually was based off of a series called Firefly by Joss Whedon. Now, this story is actually written by the man, the Kasdan himself, Lawrence Kasdan, the guy who actually originated most of the characters from The Empire Strikes Back, which we'll talk about more later on. I was apprehensive upon my first watch of Solo, a Star Wars story, feeling that Han, one of my childhood heroes growing up, would be poorly handled. But I was way wrong on that one. They did a great job. And they also added some side characters that made the story enjoyable and fun to watch, to be completely honest. Kira, Lando, L3, Beckett, Val, Dryden, Enfys Nest, and of course, my favorite character in the entire movie, Rio. Now, Rio was pretty much the comic relief at one point, but saying that, you never had a more comfortable nap, or a more comfortable sleep than in a Wookiee's lap. Humor with poor timing and placement was one of my complaints about The Last Jedi. Solo does not have these issues. The humor was built into the characters just like in the original Star Wars trilogy. That's why I realized when George Lucas was brought on to direct some of the film, it made a lot of sense. Yes, L3 is similar to K2SO, but isn't BB-8 just a smaller, cuter version of R2-D2? The theme of Trust No One and You Will Never Be Disappointed is indicative of what happens to Han and Lando in Cloud City on Bespin. Speaking of Lando and Han, there is a Star Wars book called Last Shot that's out now in stores, and it's actually more stories about our favorite characters from the original trilogy. And you know what? We'll never get to see Han again because of Ben Solo. Why, Ben? Why? Rewatching did help this movie. It gets better upon rewatch, even with the Easter eggs slapping me in the face. Now, if you guys haven't already purchased Solo, go ahead and do so in the link below, and that will actually help our channel and help the Star Wars cause, so we can get more future movies, content, and everything from both Disney and me. Please, like I said, like and subscribe, and purchase your copy of Solo today. Now let's move on to our next segment, which is Who Shot First from our Jedi Archives. Now, after our opening crawl, which didn't happen in Solo, I'm going to go ahead and start talking about the fight between Solo and Beckett in Solo, the Star Wars story. The fight between these two characters is actually not really a fight at all, because Han finishes it off by shooting first. Now, I wonder if that was intentional, or a way for a person who subconsciously wrote Han Solo's character to say that Sean was a shoot first kind of guy, ask questions later. Now, the person who did write this, Lawrence Kasdan, who I mentioned earlier, actually did a few other movies, like, let's say, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, and of course, The Last Jedi, he was a part of as well, including Solo's Star Wars story, which we're talking about today. Lawrence Kasdan is a brilliant writer, and he had this planned from the beginning. He was a part of the original production but was not directing at that time, and when Solo shoots first in the original cut, this is your final answer. If you guys think that you have a different point about this, and you really believe that this is the case, that Solo didn't shoot first, leave it down in the comments below. We'd love to hear your points, and I'd like to talk about it next week with all of you, so I can read some of your points or funny comments about this topic. Now, last and not least is the Star Fan Wars between Star Wars Explained and Star Wars Only. Now, this was a joke to me when I first heard about it. I honestly wasn't even going to talk about it. I was going to kind of ignore this and thought that it was a big joke. That's all it was to me. But I'm starting to realize that as our fan base goes further and further apart, and now these YouTubers are actually in a growing battle for our Star Wars fandom. I have no issue with either one of these Star Wars YouTubers. They have good points and they have bad points. Each one of them does. Even I have some bad points from time to time. Thanks, man. Sorry. Alright, well, anyways. Star Wars Explained posted a video talking about Kathleen Kennedy re-signing with Disney to run Lucasfilm, a divisive topic among the Star Wars fans. It's basically a 3-year slap in the face to some, and a no-brainer to others. Most YouTubers like Star Wars Only, Geeks and Gamers, and countless other Star Wars YouTubers feel like Star Wars is heading down a dark path, with Kathleen Kennedy as the head of the company. The dark path I refer to is the quality of storytelling that Kathleen Kennedy and heads of Lucasfilm have brought forth. Fear of Star Wars dying leads to hate of the person in charge. That's basically a standpoint that a lot of these YouTubers. I would say that I could defend Lucasfilm or Star Wars Explained to you, but I can't. Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, and other workers have called fans who dislike their movies man babies, men threatened by women, toxic fan base, and smeared for having different opinions of the Star Wars saga at this point. The worst part in this Star Fan Wars is that Star Wars Explained himself did not even make the points questioned by Star Wars Only. It was his girlfriend, fiancé, wife? I don't know. Which he agreed with. Having no protest as a male fan because Star Wars is still great. I don't feel like the movies are bad, just had a great deal of potential, and just like The Last Jedi, it subverted our expectations. Just like both of these two, by, being little. It wasn't necessary, and it was completely a comic grab, and a lot of everybody bit right into it, including myself. Now, I don't agree that we need a war over Star Wars, but we can all have our thoughts, theories, and speculations about any of the movies. Lucasfilm should handle the movies, not attacking people for disliking their movies, but we should all be patient with each other and the movie-making process. Otherwise, we will have it all end. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and may the Force be with you always.